Welcome to Transmissions, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers. On this episode, the third-party Legend Scale Skyfire from Newage gets the Shattered Glass treatment. Walmart unveils some Transformers exclusives, and we've got another massive Toyhax labels update. Today is Wednesday, October 12th, 2022, and this is episode 507 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that never expected to see Daredevil take the walk of shame. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Hello. Let's talk Transformers.
As always, we start the show by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who support us on Patreon and PayPal. Thank you all so much for continuing to help us out and keep the show going. We really appreciate it. And if you'd like to become a Donatreon, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support, and that's where you can sign up. Of course, being a Donatreon gives you lots of perks and privileges. One of them is to listen to the show live every week as we record it. Also, at the higher levels, you get some merchandise. That's fun. You also get extra entries, automatic entries into our contests, all of our contests that we do as they come up. And you get some bonus shows. You get access to some bonus shows, one of which is We Love Big Bots. And we've got another episode of We Love Big Bots coming this week. Daryl, what are you talking about this week?
What are we talking about this week? That's a good question, and it is Power Master Optimus Prime. He is a big bot, and Dr. Pants and I we both enjoy this figure quite a bit, and we both have a number of different figures of this guy. And yeah, it's a good one. So I hope you're able to check it out. It is a Donatreon's exclusive, so be sure to sign up to be a Donatreon, and you'll get the content there, and you'll be able to watch us check out and talk about Power Master Optimus Prime and our love for the various figures that exist of him. And yeah, it's not just the official ones. We really like talking about the third party ones as well. So yeah, check it out.
All right. And yeah, all the episodes of We Like Big Bots are up on our Donatreon or on our Patreon page for the Donatrons. So you can all find them there. All right. Next, we've got the latest episode of Empire of Rust. This is the regular episode in the free feed, so everyone will have access to this. This is episode 86. Nobody Expects the Spider Inquisition. And it's already out. This came out this Monday, October 10th, so it should already be available on your feed. If you are listening on the main Transmissions feed, you should get it already. If not, you can go to transmissionspodcast.com/rust, and that's where you can get it and get all the episodes for Empire of Rust, our Transformers live play RPG podcast. And also this week, we've got a special episode. So Daryl started a series, Let's Talk Transformers, with special guests, and he let me take over one week. So thanks, Daryl. Thanks for letting me get in on the action here. Well,
your guest would only speak to you, so it was a necessity.
I got to have a chat with the magnanimous Chris McFeely, the lore master of Transformers. He does. You might know him recently from Transformers: The Basics on YouTube, his YouTube series that goes into a lot of Transformers topics and gives you a 10-minute video that goes surprisingly deep and tells you a lot of information about a lot of different topics. So definitely check those out on YouTube. But Chris is, he's a longtime Transformers fan, has done lots of Transformers content, has done some official stuff as well. We talk all about that. But you might not know that he is also a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. and in particular the UK 90s comic, Sonic the Comic. And we talk a little bit about that and a little bit about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or as they're known in the UK, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. So it's a lot of stuff we got into on the show. It was a good, nice long chat. So thank you so much to Chris for sitting down with me, and you'll all be able to see that tomorrow, Thursday, October 13th. You can check it out. And it's on YouTube and in the podcast feed. All right. And lastly, before we get into the toy topics, we do have our Toyhax $10 gift code drawing for September. We're a little bit late for the September drawing, but we got to get it in. And we're ready to go. We're ready to give away another $10 gift code to one of our lucky listeners. So Jeremy is your assistant, ready to help us pick a winner.
Computer, are you ready?
I'm ready when you are.
All right. Please have her pick a number between 1 and 80.
Computer, give me a random number between 1 and 80.
Here's a number between 1 and 80. It's 79.
Oh. That goes to Zach.
Oh.
Zach. One of our longtime donatrons on PayPal. So one of the few people who's still on PayPal, not doing the only. I think there's two. There's one other guy. There's one other guy.
There was Zach and his cat.
I think they consolidated their pledge.
Right.
Yeah.
But congratulations,
Congrats,
Zach.
Yeah. Awesome.
Right on. Good job. I will be in contact with you, Zach, and we will get this sorted out, and we will get you your prize.
Okay, now let's jump into some toys, starting off with quick hits.
All right, and we're going to start off this week's quick hits with the Newage Toys H45B Strangelove. And it's the shattered glass version of Skyfire. We've got a legend scale version of it, and it's in its color prototype. And it looks, this New Age Skyfire. It's getting a lot of praise already. So seeing it in its shattered glass colors is, it looks really good. Whether or not you like shattered glass, you got to admit that this thing looks awesome. So they've given it a new head sculpt. The head sculpt is a bit more menacing than the nicey nice head sculpt of the original that they did. But this dark black with the dark purple and everything just looks really awesome. It's a really nice looking figure. The color palette is really great, and it's quite nice. So if you're interested in that, take a look at the New Age Strangelove.
Awesome. Next we have from 3-0. They've announced a new figure, the MDLX Cliff Jumper. This is a 5 inches or 12 centimeter, Daryl, tall statue.
Thank you.
Non-transforming figure, but it has 36 points of articulation, die cast, and they're always great with all of their details and everything. It's got a bunch of accessories, and this is based on the 80s toy, not the Bumblebee movie, because they do a lot of the Bumblebee movie figures as well. This was designed by their art director Kelvin Sal, and I think this looks really, really good. Their stuff is usually out of my price range, but it looks great, and it's available worldwide except Japan.
All right. Next, we've got some behind the scenes information on the new Junkion Scrap Hook, or Scrap Heap, as some might know him. So this comes from Mark Mayer, designer, on his Instagram page. He's been kind of killing it on the Instagram with all the information on toys and everything. It's been really fun, following what he's been looking at. But this scrap hook, or I'm going to call him Scrap Heap because I think he's Scrap Heap.
But okay.
He'll always be Scrap Heap to me. But it's very cool that Mark mentioned how this is following the tradition of the weaponizers and fossilizers, where the character comes out into pieces, but it is not a parts former. It does have a real traditional transformation. You can also combine the parts with other Junkions to mix and match, which is really cool. And I think that there's going to be more Junkions coming in the Legacy line, and I think we saw that on the poster, the Legacy poster that Marcelo Mater did. But this is and I really like how Mark talked about from the '86 movie, how Junkions had parts coming off and were swapping parts between them in the movie, so they were following that kind of aesthetic with the new Junkions here. So it's really cool to see this expanding the Junkion kind of universe with these new characters. And it's not a motorcycle too. I mean, that's something we haven't seen in the animated media, where they've always been a pack of motorcycles, and now we've got a tow truck here. Of course, I came up with a tow truck Junkion character for Empire of Rust 2 years ago, but I didn't get any shout outs on the Instagram post, but that's okay. But I guess all the people who did the actual work, like the artists and designers, probably deserve a little bit more credit. But
settle down. You didn't invent tow trucks, Charles.
I invented a tow truck Trunkion. Actually, Mike gave me the character sheet that was the archetype, and then I filled in the details. But I'll share credit with Mike. But yeah, so that's cool. That's so let's move on to the next one.
Okay, and we're just gonna finish this off with what I guess Quick Hits is now going to do the Toyhax label set. We're gonna do this as fast as possible because we haven't done this since we changed over to the new format here. So we'll just do this as fast as we can here. The new labels set from Toyhax came out, and this has got a lot of really good ones in it. So we're gonna start off with the Spark Drinker, and this is just the weapon from the new Legacy Metroplex. And this is a really nice looking set, but it is just for the weapon. So if you're looking for that, there's probably still working on the rest of the set, unless he's already done, and I completely missed it. The next one out is for Legacy Scourge / Black Convoy, and this set is gorgeous. So if you wanted to up your game, your Scourge game, you can pick this thing up, and this is a gorgeous set, and it'll bring a lot of life to that character or that figure. Next up, we've got a set for the cab only of Commander Class Motormaster, and this is going to add some nice sticker detail to it, especially if you're just going to, if for the time being you're just having the Motormaster display in Motormaster mode and not Menasor. Then the next one we've got is for Motormaster again. Is it Motormaster again? No, it's not. Cosmos. There it is, Cosmos. And Cosmos, I mean, he's if you can find him, you can buy a sticker set for him. He's a tough bird to hit right now, but he's out there. You just got to find them, and if you can, they got a really nice sticker set for him here, and it's real nice.
The truth is out there, like the X-Files poster.
That's right. Next on the list is the Generation Selects Cyclonus, And this one is first of all, the figure itself is absolutely gorgeous, but now they've added a ton of those 80s details to it with a new sticker set here, and it looks just marvelous. The next up is the Springer that came in that set. Jeremy, what set was that you got?
It was the Wreckers set.
The Wreckers set, that's right. So there's a couple set pieces from that. I know that you got that, so you've got it right there. So yeah, and this is for that Wreckers Springer, and they got a couple pieces here.
Collection.
Wreck and Rule, right? So you can get that. The next one we've got on the list is the same kind of set. It's the Wreck and Rule set, but this is for Impactor, and this is going to add a nice bunch of detail to him there. And yeah, he looks really good. Next up, we've got some core figures, and this is we've got some eyeballs for Spike, and we've got Spike needs some eyeballs. You got to get some eyeballs for him. And what else we got there?
With the little G2 Megatron.
The little G2 Megatron. He's got some more detail there. We've got the
Skywarp.
The Skywarp has got a little bit of wing detail. What else? What's the Pretender? Which one? What's that guy's name again? Iguanus, right? He's got something there. And then Shockwave, he's got a bunch of stuff too. So yeah, a bunch of core stuff. If you're into the core class, then yeah, there you go. And then the last one is a set for Red Cog. And yeah, he's hey, it's a Target exclusive, so But yeah, if you've got a Red Cog, or if you've bought a bunch of them, then you could do them up a bunch of different ways, because there's a few different stickers variations.
Why didn't they couldn't think of another name for that? Like, why don't they call them like Sprocket or something? Just Red Cog.
Wanted the red because of the Target.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's it. That's the Toyhax update.
All right. Well, let's jump into our discussion topic. Okay, so we got right after Hasbro PulseCon ended, and now we got a bunch of new announcements from Walmart Collector Con, which is not a real con. It's just Walmart marketing their exclusive toys. So, settle down, Walmart. You're not running a con. But
Walmart, you're drunk.
But the interesting thing was, so they did have a bunch of Transformers exclusives, as they've been doing Transformers exclusives. This year was the Speedia 500 collection. We've talked about that before. They've got several toys in that collection. Now they announced a bunch of new ones. We already talked about Crasher and Shadow Strip. So, Shadow Strip is the G2 universe shadow, like basically G2 colors drag strip. And then Crasher is the GoBot, female GoBot that has been grandfathered into G1 somehow. And now she's a G1 Decepticon. So those two characters, we saw them. They were first. We got sight of them overseas. Now they are officially in the Walmart lineup, so they will be available at Walmart's in the Speedia 500 collection. Then we got we also got the Hot Rod, the Voyager Hot Rod, which is a recolor of the Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. We also talked about that previously. And then a brand new figure was the Galaxy Shuttle. And this was a kind of a surprise. So it is a retool of the Legacy, or is it Kingdom Astra Train? I think
Siege was the original.
Siege Astra Train. Okay, yeah, while ago. Okay, but yeah, so it's a retool of the Siege Astra Train. So it is a triple changer. It turns into a train and the space shuttle. This is a reference to the Transformers Victory, the Japanese cartoon. And this was, I believe, was this the character that like shuttled the some of the Micromasters around. I think I'm not up on the Victory cartoon, but I think that was
okay. Okay, Charles. I mean, I didn't just sit down with Chris McFeely, so I would assume you guys would have mind melded and shared all your knowledges with each other.
We didn't time travel. We recorded our episode before this came out, so we didn't know about this and didn't talk about this. But
anyway, I have very little knowledge about Galaxy Shuttle. Yeah.
Me too. But there it is.
All I've really known about it is that the original one is extremely hard to find in good condition. There is the reissues of it, reissue or KOs of it that are also really expensive. And if you can find an original one, it's going to cost you an awful lot of money. So, yeah.
Do you think that you should get this to go along with Victory Saber?
Me? I'm not getting this. No, this is, I have Astro Train and this is just Astro Train.
Yeah. Astro Train.
This is a white Astro Train. That's about as far as I'm seeing this. The fact that they've gone ahead and called it Galaxy Shuttle. That's cool enough for me that they're starting to reach into that universe.
Well, it says Victory Universe Galaxy Shuttle.
Yeah, no, they're pulling stuff from that universe though.
Yeah.
So, will they in the future, it's taken them this long to actually acknowledge this stuff and start to pull from it. So yeah, now we have Victory Saber and that's awesome. And that's a new design, but will we now start to get new official designs that aren't repaints or remolds of existing designs, right? Like I want a new Galaxy Shuttle, but I don't want it to be a remold of Astro Train.
Looking at the TF Wiki, it did carry Micromasters around, and it was resting on the launching pad of Countdown's rocket base. So
I have Countdown. Does that help?
No.
Oh.
Going down the line of pulling from these other universes, even though it would be a repaint, even like a slight repaint, I want them to just redo a blaster and say Headmaster's Universe Billy. Come on.
It's right there.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess this is so. Yeah, if you are, if you're a big fan of the Victory anime and wanted an updated Galaxy Shuttle, it's here for you. But this is probably an easy pass for most people. But which is probably good since it's a Walmart. There's
going to be a lot of people that are going to want this, though. There are an awful lot of people that are going to want this. So,
okay.
My feelings aside, like please don't take my word for as gospel on this. There are an awful lot of people who see that they've brought back Galaxy Shuttle and are over the moon excited for this thing. Right. So, I'm likely in the minority on this one.
Also look at customizers and stuff. I mean, the lack of paint apps, this is a blank slate for a lot of creative, customizations and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay, so that was the Speedia 500 collection. So those are the legacy toys, which is pretty much they were all retools or repaints of existing toys. And then we have the retro collection, the Transformers Retro, which took G1 toys and gave them redecos, particularly focused on Transformers the movie. So we have a Starscream and a Hot Rod, which are the G1 Starscream and a G1 Hot Rod toy, but specifically with a deco that matches their Transformers the movie appearances. So, It's interesting. I mean, particularly there were some pictures that showed the comparisons between this and the original G1 Hot Rods deco. One thing one thing that's very clear is that there's no stickers on these figures. So it's all paint apps, no stickers. So that, I mean, I guess it does make it look a lot more like the animation model, but it also feels a little plain. I don't know. I guess if you really want the animation model look, you want a G1 toy with the animation model look, this is for you here, because this does look. I mean, this they've colored the legs to make the legs gray. That's how he looks in the cartoon, in the animated movie. The color scheme is closer to the color in the movie. It's the G1 toy. So if you're looking for that G1 character, a G1 nostalgia toy, that's what it is.
I'm looking, it has plastic wheels instead of the rubber tires.
Oh,
Wah, wah.
And we just had a G1 reissue at Walmart like a couple of years ago of Hot Rod, didn't we? Did that one have rubber tires?
That's a good question.
But it's in this side by side. You can clearly see.
I have it right here.
You want to open it up and tell it?
I'm not opening this, no. But it does look like it is rubber tires on here. The one thing that they don't have is that they don't have steel toes on this. So the original G1 did have metal toes. Subsequent re-releases of this, still in G1, did change them out for plastic. And then all of these did have plastic toes. So if you are, a true G1er and you are looking for a real G1, you're going to want rubber tires and steel toes. But it's I think they're. I mean, we're seeing DJ Ronan says they're plastic, but I thought my daughter's got one open upstairs. I should go get it, but I won't.
We'll report back next week.
One interesting thing about this, I'm sure you're going to talk about the box art, but the artist behind it has been getting lots of work from Hasbro. It's our friend Marcelo Mater.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, both of this box art is pretty good for both of them, yeah.
Yeah.
What for the Starscream one, I mean, the Starscream figure is, I mean, it's, I don't think, at least I don't have we haven't seen a side by side for the Starscream figure, but it doesn't seem like it comes with a little Megatron guns. That's cool. But they should have given it I guess you couldn't get a little coronation kit in the G1 figure since his head doesn't really accommodate that.
No. The paint apps on this are great. I like the paint app on the actual fuselage. You actually get the two little lines across the canopy. That's something that's been lacking on one of these figures forever. It's quite nice. I like it a lot. The missiles in it are shorter. Like they're not as puny as the original G1 missiles were, but those things broke really easily. But these ones are definitely a lot nicer than some of those original reissues.
You also the face is not just a black piece of plastic like the original.
I see. Yeah, and then the canopy is yellow, like the cartoon.
And all the blues are much lighter.
Yeah. Well, this is supposed to be animation colors, right? So that's
yeah.
Yep. So they're going after all of that coloring. But yeah, it does. It looks great. The head on it is definitely a lighter gray, like you were saying. Yeah, and the hand in it here that holds the Megatron gun, that's the same. These are the same hands that came with that most recent reissue. We gave away one as a prize, so that one was able to hold the Megatron that came with it as well.
Never realized it had those pegs. And, yeah, the original one doesn't.
Pegs?
This is like a early 2000s reissue.
What are you looking at? What pegs?
The new hands, like you were saying, they have 5 holes, and
yeah,
this is reissue from like
those didn't. Yeah,
one or whatever.
Yeah, the originals didn't have it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, I mean, it's an interesting take on capturing some nostalgia where you redeco the original G1 toys. So I wonder if they'll continue with this. I do like that they have the old tech specs there. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that's. I'm curious to see if they'll continue. They're doing. I guess they're gearing up for another. I guess Transformers the movie will turn 40. Oh well, no, we still got a couple years. We still got a few more years. Yeah, we just had.
So 35, we've got Studio Series doing Transformers the movie, and now we've got Walmart having a Transformers the movie line. This is a lot of the Transformers 86 movie getting a lot of love here from a lot of different facets. If you're thinking about which, if anyone out there is trying to figure out which characters they'll reissue, or what future ones might be a part of this, just think back to what they've already reissued. Blaster, Soundwave, Optimus Prime, Devastator, right? Astro Train, the Decepticon tapes, all those. And what else did they do? Oh, they wanted to do the other 3 jets, so Skywarp and Thundercracker. So those are on the table because they're the exact same. Who else? Insecticons, they were in there too. Now they weren't. Well, they were in the movie, so yeah, they can be in there too. What else? I can't remember what else they might have done. They haven't reissued Dinobots. I think the molds of those are gone. Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah. That might be it that they've done in the last little while. But you could go back a little further than that and get some other reissues. But in the immediate future, those are probably the molds that are probably really handy for them to just kind of throw back in there and just say, hey, do some more of these.
We'll say you can still pre-order both of these. They're $33.97, which I think for a G1 reissue, it's not unreasonable.
The Starscream is $33.97?
Yeah, they're both $33.97.
Wow. I'm probably passing on the hot rod. Because I have a bunch of hot rods, but I like the Starscream. That Starscream looks good. So, and if I ended up getting the hot rod, I'm not opening it. The box is just gorgeous. Those boxes are absolutely beautiful.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that wraps up our toy discussion. So let's move on to trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
And of course, Trips to the Store is powered by TeePublic, our TeePublic store. You can check that out at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. Buy all our TeePublic merchandise through that link, and that gives us a little bit of a kickback and a commission. Of course, if you buy anything from TeePublic through our link, that helps us out. And as we're getting ready for TFCon Chicago coming soon, we threw up some new designs. So, Jeremy, why don't you tell us about some of those new designs we've got on the store? Some new shirts.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about stuff to do for TFCon, and we were going to get some stickers to just hand out. And I thought about revisiting our classic, Tape Man and Boombox Man, the Soundwave and Blaster designs we've done. But they had our old logos and everything, so I wanted to update those. So we have here a a 2022 remix that the default color for the Tape Man is black as a Sound Blaster, reference. And he's got the new logo, the bad guy insignia, and the tape inside. Someone's written 2022 remix on it. And I think this came out really good. I mean, considering, it's just changing a couple colors and adding some text, but it looks good in this color. You can always, as everything with TeePublic, you can change the color to whichever one that design supports, and it'll work just fine. You can get t-shirts, hoodies, phone cases. They have tons of stuff you can get. But we also have the Boombox Man, the blaster one, in a blue as a twin twist reference. So can't have Sound Blaster without twin twist.
Twin cast.
Twin cast. I don't know. I was up really late working on these. So I'm glad I just called it Boombox Man on this thing. So it's fine. But I think this looks great too. You can choose the red if you want to go back to the red, but it's got our new logo and everything on it too, and the good guy insignia. So by the time you hear this, the initial sale is going to be over, because it's like 36 hours or so after you make one live. But they're always having sales, but it's $22 for the default shirt, so it's not that bad. So check it out, and if you need something for TFCon, get on it and buy it soon, so you'll have it in time. So I think they look great.
Cool. So we'll have to show off our new kicks at TFCon Chicago.
I haven't ordered any of these, but I just literally 20 minutes before we went live tonight. But we'll have stickers of these designs at TFCon. If you see us at TFCon, we'll give you some free stickers.
Cool. All right, let's show off the stuff we got. Daryl, we're going to start with you.
Okay, I'm first. I don't have anything new. I'm not 100% this week, so I just picked up something off the shelf at the back. Got some other things that I can kind of show maybe twice. And this one here, I like this guy, so I figured I'd pull him out and show him again. This is my G2 Ramjet. I like this guy a lot. I just like his colors. Kind of match the quick hit I talked about today with that Newage Shattered Glass Skyfire. So yeah, my G2 Ramjet, he is complete. Although he's missing stickers, so I would love Toyhax to do a sticker set for him, because I could use some stickers for him. He's got a sound box on him, and I think it still works. There you go. It's a very accurate plane taking off and landing noise.
Did that come with the G2 Ramjet when it was originally out?
Yep. Starscream came with one too.
Hmm.
Oh, and a noise of him shooting.
Sounds like your batteries are dying.
So yeah, G2 Ramjet. Just a really awesome looking figure. The color palette works really well, and needs stickers. So yeah.
All right, I'll go next. I got lucky. I was in my local Best Buy picking up some electronics, and they do have toys in the Best Buy, which is interesting. And but they're transform. They sometimes have Transformers occasionally, but it's hit or miss. And I just happened to find an Alita 1. Nice. Legacy Alita 1. There she is in car mode. She is a deluxe, so she's quite tiny there. So
Well, but that's now referencing like complexity, not the size.
Mhm. Yeah.
But one thing I do
You
appreciate.
can still get lots of clowns in that car. This is a small car, lots of clowns.
And you can, I mean, we talked a lot about the hat. You can just take the hat off. You don't need the hat. You can just completely take it off and forget about it if you don't like the hat. So I appreciated that at least. She is she's not completely a shell former, but you can, like, there she is right underneath. So her transformation is not super complex, but it's still pretty good. The color scheme is still kind of bad with the two-tone pinks there. It's not great. I mean, and I have too much glare here, so you can't really tell here, but
It's almost like one of those old Filmation cartoons.
Yeah, so I was hoping to find a Minerva, but I don't know what, like, Hasbro still hasn't even announced Minerva, so I don't know what's going on with Minerva.
Maybe they
we'll
completely forgot that they released it.
Maybe, I don't know. But I'm happy with Alita 1, so she's cool. That's what I got. Okay, Jeremy, we're gonna finish up with you.
I don't have anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Why am I last? I don't have anything.
Well, you have someone called you out this week.
Oh yeah. I guess I can play that voicemail we got. Someone calling me out.
Hey Charles, Jeremy, Daryl, and whoever's guest hosting tonight. This is Guy dropping this message. You can find me on YouTube at SpaceboyG78 or on Twitter at SpaceboyG. The reason I am dropping this message is that in the Trips to the Store video 470, Jeremy showed off a Kabaya kit, and he said he was going to build it. And a few episodes later, in Trips to the Store 478, I dropped a YouTube comment and never heard anything or saw the Kabaya kit ever again. So you guys say, if you drop a message, you guys play it. So I'm forcing the issue. Jeremy, where is that Kabaya kit? Other than that, guys, I was a winner of a previous contest during another landmark episode of yours. It was the Constructed Cold CD, and I got to say that was a real banger. Loved it. Still love it. And I also want to say thanks for all the great work you guys do. Love that also. And congratulations on getting to 500, and looking forward to more episodes in the future. Keep up the great work, guys. Thanks.
All right. So
I love it when people call you out. That's so good.
Yeah, I was getting in the car when I saw Daryl's send me messages in Discord like, "Oh, someone's calling Jeremy out." I knew exactly what it was about.
I was so excited.
I'm impressed that it's like 37 episodes ago. That's like 8 months ago.
That's a lot of patience. I mean, yeah, he's waited a long time for you to do this.
Well, but it's
and here's a twist: you still haven't.
I have some empty sprues here.
Okay.
But unfortunately, my kid likes to play with my toys here, and I had it on a low shelf. So I'm missing one thing of sprues. I don't know where it is, but I have enough to at least build most of the Optimus Prime. And I have no idea where the stickers are. I am thankful that there's a website that has scans of all the Kabaya boxes, so you have the instructions, and that was very helpful. But I have most of it here put together. I'm missing the sprue that has like things that go on his shoulders and stuff. But you got me off of my ass to finally put this together, so thank you for that.
Well played, Gaio. Well played.
Yeah. And you got a nice plug of your YouTube on there. So, but
Good
yeah,
job.
If I find the other sprue, I will finish this and then show it off again in the future. Cause I'm not the biggest toy hunter right now because of other things in my life, but yeah, I forgot how much fun these were to put together compared to the more professional model kits that take a lot more time. So, and also, does Toyhax do stickers for these? Because I have no idea for the stickers.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but anyway, so that's all
Did you eat the gum?
No, I tell you my life.
He's still alive. I don't think he ate the gum.
Yeah. And if I find it, I can bring it to TFCon.
Hey,
So you can
offer
are you
it
planning
to somebody
to
as a
murder
panel.
somebody? Planning to murder one of our listeners?
No,
I've got 3 kabaya kits unbuilt up top there. I can open them up and bring 3 more pieces. We can see who wants to chew some gum.
yeah.
We can have a good chew.
Worse than chewing tobacco. Okay, well, that's all for trips to the store. So we'll move on to convention news.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
All right. In convention news this week, New York Comic Con 2022 happened. We'll have a lot of stuff in alt mode regarding Earthrise and, some of the other media related things, but there were also toys. And here we have some images from the Diamond Select. We have your Diamond Select Transformers Mini Mates Wave 3, Diamond Select Transformers Milestone Statues, which is what I believe we're looking at here, and then Super 7 Super Shogun Transformers, which is a 24 centimeter tall figures. So I think these all look pretty good. This one here is a Diamond Select Transformers Milestones Beast Wars Megatron. Let's see. These I believe these are the mini mates. I'm not big into the mini mates. I think I don't know. As much as I'm not a big fan of Pop's, mini mates are even worse. I don't know if we have any images of the Super 7, or is that that's this one here. So the Super 7, I mean, it kind of looks like the reaction figures, but bigger, just a little bit. You can looks like they have a Megatron, an Optimus, and then a Grayscale Optimus. So that was good. Hasbro had just had PulseCon, so they didn't really announce anything new here. The next thing we have is that TFCon has announced TFCon Los Angeles, March 10th through 12th, 2023 at the Los Angeles Marriott Burbank Airport. Apparently TFCon Los Angeles has been a huge hit over the previous 2 times. So they are returning after I think they had one this last year. So, looking forward to seeing what comes out of that one. I mean, now we're up to 3 TFCons a year regularly. So,
Surprised they're not going back. They're not trying to do Orlando again.
Well,
like they.
So I think they have now Toronto and Los Angeles are fixed locations, and then there's the moving one that's in Chicago this year. So, Baltimore.
Well, if you recall from when we talked to Colin, is that he has to book these well in advance. So they're years out at this point. So he likely has a replacement Orlando date booked,
right?
But we are not going to know of this for a while.
Or at least for another few weeks, if that's the one that's announced at the end of this one.
Yeah, it's possible.
But I think Los Angeles has a big enough audience there that they're able to have work out a deal with the Los Angeles Marriott and just, like they have in Toronto. So it's, hopefully I can get out to that one sometime, because the BotCons out there was always really fun.
Yeah.
I can guarantee I will not be at that one because it is once again on my son's birthday. So,
Well, I mean, the Toronto one is also my anniversary and my son's birthday. So,
yeah,
It's
I mean,
my
at
birthday
some point,
too.
at some point, my wife might allow me to go and bring the whole family, but he has to be, a little bit older, I think.
old enough for theme parks.
Yeah. Old enough to take, but not old enough that he's going to have a party with friends. So like 4, maybe. So, but yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
And of course, my birthday is March 12th, so that's Sunday is.
Hey, everyone, let's get
Not everything's
Charles out
about you,
there.
Charles. Not everything's about you.
My birthday's about me. Well,
Not this year.
That's all for convention news.
all right. Let's finish up the show with some feedback. So we do have another voicemail from Jason from the Cracktastic Plastic podcast. Actually, I have to give an apology to Jason. So he sent this back in August. Somehow our feedback email did not forward this to our personal email address. That's how we get our podcast email. And so we just missed the message and didn't see it. So when he sent the follow-up message just last week, we did go and find the voicemail he sent. But yeah, so and I think he you'll listen to the message, but he's said, he threatened to send us one every week, but then in the email he says I wasn't actually going to send you one every week. But you didn't have to. And Jason, we were not intentionally skipping your voicemail. We just didn't see it, and apologies for that. But he did say that he is going to be at TFCon Chicago. So Jason, we will see you at TFCon Chicago. All 3 of us will be there. So definitely, if you see us, come up and say hi. We'll probably, there's probably going to be a podcast panel. So we will participate in that, hopefully with some other podcasters. I mean, maybe the Cracktastic Plastic podcast will be part of that too. I don't know what the plans are. Actually, we should probably figure that. We have not talked to the folks, the other podcasters out there.
Before you promise slots to people on the show,
Let's make sure there are slots.
Yeah,
and is a show.
We're not in charge of it, so we'll have to see what's going on there. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. Okay, so let's play Jason's voicemail. Let's hear his voicemail.
Guys, I mean, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have told me the secret that if you record a voicemail, you'll play it on the show, because now I'm just going to bug you guys all the time now. It's going to be awesome. Jason here from the Cracktastic Plastic podcast. And yeah, of course I was excited that you played my last voicemail. I mean, I was just happy to know that I wasn't the only one that has trouble figuring out what to do with their boxes. I'm just a guy. I'm just here in the middle of the country, just playing with toys. I wasn't sure how the rest of the world felt about it. So, of course, I was excited. So, anyway, yeah, man, that was a great 500th episode. Oh, man, it was so good. And it got me thinking, what kind of, so 9 years, that's awesome. And what maybe besides price, the obvious thing, what I was kind of wondering what you guys, if you guys saw some sort of like any trends over the last 9 years, how things are going in a good way or in a bad way. I mean, that's negative, you don't have to be that way, but yeah, I was just wondering for your guys' insight of being so plugged in to the fandom for the last 9 years, just if you saw any big sweeping trends or how you thought or felt about how things are going, toys, comics, everything, Transformers, Anyway, just wanted to bug you. You're going to hear a lot more from me, and talk to you later. Bye.
Oh, that's a good conversation starter, good discussion topic.
Mm-hmm.
So, what trends have we seen over 9 years? Wow. I mean, I would say that the diversity of Transformers, like stories and characters and things, has grown significantly. We've kind of, I mean, you can see now with Legacy that they're doing lots of different things. They've gone from the beginning to the end of the like Transformers story. Like we've had the origin story, like with the War for Cybertron's series there, and then the recent comic series has gone back to the origin. We've had the end of like the end of the war with the IDW comics. We're having new stories now with Cyberverse. A few years ago we had that had kind of a reimagining of G1. We've got Earthspark now coming with some brand new stuff. So I think it's just grown a lot of diversity in terms of what Transformers can be and what kinds of stories it can tell, which I think is good. One thing I see that's kind of bad, and Daryl, I think maybe you could maybe speak to this a little bit better than I can, but it seems like at least when they've split the toy lines, I mean, they always had the split between like generations and then the main toy line, but now the main toy line for kids has kind of had a significant drop in complexity and quality in terms of like the Cyberverse toys and now the Earthspark toys. I think neither of those lines have things that I think are particularly interesting for the old people, which I mean, that's fine. I mean, that's they're not for us, but I mean, I remember when we started the show and we had things like Transformers Prime, where I mean, Daryl, you collected all those Transformers Prime figures for a while, and that was the main show that was on TV. That was the main toy line for the kids. Those toys were a lot that were very on the same level of as the generation stuff. And now I don't think Cyberverse and Earthspark are on that level anymore, but at least, and things are a lot more hollow.
The shows are also targeted at different ages.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about the comics?
I mean, I think at least the IDW comics, I mean, we had kind of an interesting arc there with the we had we were just when the podcast started, we were just in the middle of More Than Meets the Eye and Robots in Disguise, and that continued on for a long time. We got, cinematic universes became like every media company wanted a cinematic universe, and IDW caught that fever too with the Hasbro universe and the comics. And then we even got to ending the universe with Unicron, which I thought was interesting to have have that whole storyline conclude in a big way, which was cool. And then getting a brand new Transformers storyline with Brian Ruckley there. And there were some pacing issues with that storyline, but it was a complete kind of going back to the basics, going back to the very beginning of the war and how the war started, which was another interesting take. So I thought, that was all. It was good to see lots of new ideas in the comics and see those get played out. So I've talked a lot. What do you guys think?
I feel like a lot of ideas have been thrown out over the years, and some have been positive. Things like Windblade, that was a fan voted character that has made her way into multiple levels of fiction, from the comics to the cartoons and everything. So things like that have been great. On the toy side, I think that we have gone through shifts of like you were saying with the levels of complexity. It was like super complex with Prime, and then they simplified it, and then they've got super complex, and I think now we're kind of more in they're gearing it towards fun transformations. And we also went through the period with the oil issues, so there was like lots of gaps, and now I think with the current line they're figuring out how to work with it so you can not have so many gaps in the figures, and that's where you saw your deluxe figure, but it's smaller, but they're like adding complexity but making it smaller so you don't have the gaps. And I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot of creativity and interesting design work going in right now. And on the fiction, I mean, I don't know, I feel like the IDW stuff kind of sputtered, but ending with Last Spot Standing and the Shattered Glass stuff, I think at least it's ending on some really good stories.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were spoiled with tons of really great stories, and I mean, despite what Daryl thinks, the Transformers versus G.I. Joe stuff, the Tom Skilly books were a lot of fun. So anyway,
so with regards to the toys, maybe I should start with the comics first, just the fiction. So with regards to fiction, I think it started off when we started the podcast, like Charles said, it started off really, really strong. And that's probably one of the impetuses behind why we started the podcast in the first place, is Jeremy was just probably just wanting to talk about this stuff because it was so good. And that's the reason why we're here. For me, I noticed it started to get really, I don't know I keep trying to think of the word and I'm forgetting it, but it was playing to its audience, and you know, the stories were getting written to and they really didn't seem to have a proper Transformers point anymore. They were all was it placate? Is that the word I'm looking for? No, what's playing to your audience? What's the word for that? I don't know.
Pandering? Is that what you're
pandering? That's the word I'm looking for. Pandering. Yeah. So it was a lot of pandering was going on with the writing in the More Than Meets the Eye Lost Light line, and that was the premier line. That was the premier story going on. And then the other one started to suffer as well, just because there was a lot of like the
universe.
The Hasbro universe, just it yeah, nobody could follow that, all of those different characters. Nobody knew them coming in. The part about the Marvel Cinematic Universe is a lot of people already know these characters coming in. You're going to introduce Rom and Action Man and the G.I. Joe characters to into the Transformers universe, or they're all in one universe anyway, so you're going to introduce them all. Well, that's all well and good, but you got to know who these guys are, right? You can't just introduce some random guy from G.I. Joe into the Transformers book. Nobody knows who it is and why they're important. So it was a mess. And then it fell on its face, and that's what happens. It goes in ebbs and flows, and it did. I do think I agree with Jeremy. It did end strongly. And it's, it is what it is. And whoever picks up the license will have their opportunity. Now, as far as the toys go, I think when we first started the podcast, the Generations line and the Masterpiece line were absolutely at the top of their game, and they were firing on all cylinders, and have subsequently started to fall since then. Masterpieces really started to take a lot of shortcuts. Their design work has become incredibly much more complex since then, and their material quality has suffered. They are taking a lot of shortcuts that they really shouldn't need to take, and their product is suffering. Now the Generations line is is suffering in an entirely different way. They're suffering because they are trying to deal with a price point, and they're trying to stick within that, but they're also trying to maintain a complexity, and it's not working. So their product is just, it ends up looking subpar. Recently, within the last like year or two, it's really started to come back and started to be really quite nice. But for a while there, it was really bad. As far as the kids lines go, that's some of the worst stuff I've seen in a long time. It's I think they're still producing it now. They still do the 1-step changers or the 3-step changers, and every movie line seems to have something of this, of this type in it. And for me to think that if some kid is getting into Transformers or is receiving a Transformer, and they grow up thinking this is what Transformers is a 1-step changer, right? And this is all they ever get. That's a disservice to this kid, right? Because they are so much more than that, so the quality has suffered an awful lot. And sure, it's budgets and it's all this other political stuff that they got to deal with, but Transformers are getting priced out of the hands of kids. Sure, it's not the same as it was with video games being introduced and everything's on your phones now. Toys are not really for kids anymore, which is the craziest thing. But you can't take a kid into a Toys R Us and say go pick out a toy, because they're going to come back with something that's $30 now, and it's something that would have been 15 10 years ago. And it's just these things are getting way too expensive, and that's been the biggest shift that's probably been the on the downside of things. The biggest trend that I've noticed is that just the pricing of things has gotten way out of hand. On the positive, though, with regards to toys, is just the absolute amount of characters choice that they have come up with. Like on this particular show, we're talking about a Galaxy shuttle. There's no way in hell we'd have ever seen a Galaxy shuttle, again, 10 years ago. Wouldn't have happened, right? We've gotten all of the G1 Titans, right? They've all been done. And now they're doing stuff from different lines now. That being said, another con, everything is G1 related now, right? Mm-hmm. If you've got a box of 8 figures and they're all different, at least 5 of them are going to be something G1, and then 3 of them will be something else, right? So it's G1. I'm a G1 guy, and at even now, I'm getting sick of all the G1 stuff. Every line is an Optimus Prime and a Starscream and a Megatron. Come on, you're killing it, right? The same thing that's happening to that for me that has happened to Star Wars is happening to Transformers G1. There's too much, and they are killing it for me, and I'm desperately trying to save it for myself. So it's just oversaturation.
That's where I am hopeful for things like Earthspark that is introducing some new ideas, and you still have your G1 characters, but there are new ideas coming in there, and Cyberverse was the same way.
Yeah. So if we have we have stuff with, when was the last time we did have a show like, for all of its flaws, the Unicron trilogy was all new characters, right? Mm-hmm. It was just like, here's a Transformer show. Enjoy, right? Well, where's Optimus Prime and Mega? Oh, they're there, but they're not the ones Okay, well, let's take a look, right? Give us something like that, Hasbro. You're going to have a lot of people that are in my position that are going to be, really angry, right? I don't want to watch this. It's not a G1. Okay, well, G1 wasn't G1 until it showed up. So, you gotta you gotta take a risk on something at some point.
This is not Diaclone.
God damn it. So I think, at some point they're, instead of introducing one or two new characters every now and then, they're just going to have to just do a whole new show wholesale and just say, this is all new Transformers. And then just, maybe share a name or two, because that's always been, that's how you keep your trademarks.
I mean,
but yeah.
Give us a show or a concept of something like Last Stand of the Records was. It was familiar characters and stuff, but do something like that. Just kind of, it's Transformers. It's out in space. There is this other universe of characters, that can be referenced, but the small team of new characters doing new things.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that have happened that are good. And like Charles said, I very much agree of the diversity. I've talked about it a number of times on the show, how I've gone, one of the, over my time of going to TFCon here in Toronto, the first year I went, it was, for lack of a better word, it was like a sausage fest. It was just guys. It was all just guys. And, there might have been one or two, ladies around that were just, hanging out and, just, they were there with their partners and that kind of stuff. And as the shows, and as I've gone to these shows, it's progressed. It is at least 50-50 at this point. It's very much an all-inclusive show. And there are fans of all backgrounds coming to this show now. And it is incredible to see the diversity of fans in this fandom. And it's, I love it. And to see the people that are enjoying it for different aspects. Some people will go to these things and I'm a toy guy, see, I'm a toy guy, but I go to a show, just to, see friends or see to buy toys. People are going for the art or the artists, and they're going for the homemade crafts and stuff. And it's incredible. All the different aspects and cosplay. That was not even a thing when we started going to these things. It's a incredible different way of looking at it now. And it's really started to change, and it's for the better, really, because it adds so much more dimension to these shows, and so it's really quite good. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, in addition to having more female representation, you've also got a large LGBT representation too. I mean, it's got. I think it's interesting how much Transformers in general has become very much more inclusive than it was 9 years ago, or in terms of people. I think people were still it appealed to everyone, but I think people didn't see themselves represented in it as much as they do now, and I think that's positive. That there's something you can see of yourself in Transformers if you are not a dude or because Transformers was a boy's toy, right? It was always a boy's toy.
Of course, yes.
And and now they've and even I think Hasbro has recognized that they don't need to market it that way, and they can really make it for everyone. So that's very good. Oh, and I see a comment from Frenzy is Red that there is a place for one-step changers for little kids to hopefully get them into new toys. So
yeah, no, I can agree with that. I have a couple that my son played with, and now he's pulling, like I said earlier, he's pulling my stuff off the shelf here, and he's figuring them out. At 8 years
See, that's
old,
when they
the perfect
access
age
to the other ones. When they have access to different ones, though, if you only ever got one-step changers or the three-step changers, right, and never ever were given the additional steps, right, the next level, right, you'd only ever think that they're that's what Transformers is, right? So when we were that age, we were given G1 figures.
Yeah, we were getting these.
Right? Yeah. So, whether it's right for a 4-year-old to be given a Starscream, yeah, sure, maybe not. There's a lot of small parts on that Starscream, but it's a responsibility of the parent maybe now to, take all the little bits away and just give the airplane. But, you can give a kid a toy, so, but yeah, I think, one step changers, I have a real beef with those things. They're too easy. And they don't even get me started on the what are they? The soap bottle ones, the things that just have the articulation in the shoulders. Why do those exist? Who buys those?
They go into dollar stores. That's it.
Just wait until your boy's a little older.
Nothing like that is coming in my house. I say, you want that? I got a giant one up there that all aspects of that thing move. And it talks. And you can never touch it.
I'm just waiting for you to show him the Robeson.
That's true. I got to take it down at some point, but at this point he'll still grab it, so I can't I can't have him touch it.
It's wild to me that your friend is letting you just like have that forever. Like he's not asking for it back or anything.
It's like a piece of art that's on loan to a museum.
Yeah. What's wild is that it's here and it's not been opened or touched since I put it up on the shelf. And it's just up there.
You might want to check the batteries. Just.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's probably been fine. It's only been a year.
I mean,
all right, I think thanks, Jason, for sending that voicemail in. Sorry it took us so long to get back to you, but we do appreciate it. And
20-minute response. I mean,
that was a good one. I like that.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I blame Charles because he didn't curate the question well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you get 98% of the praise. You got to take 98% of the responsibility.
I don't remember getting any praise.
This is something else over 9 years that we know what buttons to push.
It's a good thing.
All right,
Cracktastic Plastic is one of our donators.
Anyway, it's Donatreon. That's it for our feedback. Let's finish up the show. As always, we end the show by giving a shout out to our masterpiece Donatrons. These are the folks who continue to support us on our Patreon at the highest level, and we really appreciate that. So thank you again to John 4X Levengood and Demon Tech 82. Your support makes this show happen, which is why we give you a shout out in every episode. And that is it for this week's transmissions. Thanks everyone for watching and listening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.